The federal government paid out $210 million in bonuses to federal managers last year. Most departments gave bonuses to over 90% of executives or management, with Trudeau's bureaucrats in the Privy Council office receiving performance compensation at the highest rate of all departments at 97%. The data was uncovered in a federal government response to an order paper inquiry posed by Conservative MP Eric Melillo. However, CBC did not respond to the order paper question, so the state broadcaster's executive bonuses remain a mystery.
So I'm sorry. If the argument is to try to say that we're no longer of value, all I would say is that's not what I hear from Canadians.
What I'm asking about is the bonuses. With all due respect, Ms. David, when you give someone a bonus, and we've just agreed on the metrics that should be used to judge a broadcaster, when those metrics are down, how do you justify giving people, executives, big bonuses when they haven't achieved success by these metrics that we've agreed on?
As I pointed out, the metrics that we measure are public and tracked, and they're in all of our reports. So I'm afraid to say that that trust is down. Trust is down across the entire media section, and it also affects politicians. It also affects
when you misrepresent the truth, it does affect.
Despite plummeting viewership and 800 pre-Christmas layoffs, CBC CEO Catherine Tate would not rule out taking a performance bonus of her own during her appearance at the Heritage Committee.
Tate, for 2023, will you be given a bonus?
I'm going to come back to your question after he corrects the record.
Madam Chair, I would ask you, through you, Madam Chair, the witness knows that her instructions here are to answer the questions that have been given. She can correct the record by sending in a written notice if she wishes.
You can do that, Ms. Tate. You've gone over time.
My time has been interrupted numerous times because the witness doesn't want to answer my question. It's very simple. Will she be given a bonus in 2020?
It's not my decision whether I get a bonus or not. Let's just be clear.
Thank you. That's enough time.
Tate's annual salary is pegged at between $458,500 and $539,400, and she can expect a bonus each year of 28%, and that is on top of her already very healthy expense account. CBC receives approximately $1.3 billion in annual federal subsidies. However, CBC is not the only federal agency rewarding people to oversee catastrophic failure. Managers responsible for the bungled ArriveCan program were also paid bonuses, with those numbers uncovered in a similar inquiry posed by Conservative MP Jeremy Patzer. Look at this. 5 of 8 managers, 62%, received at-risk pay, and 4 of the 8, 50%, received bonuses. For the fiscal year of 2021-2022, 8 executives worked on the ArriveCan application. 6 of the 8, or 75%, received at-risk pay, and 2, 25%, received bonuses. For the fiscal year 2020-2021, an amount of $129,879 was paid in at-risk pay, and $31,149 was paid in bonuses. For fiscal year 2021-2022, an amount of $166,052 was paid in at-risk pay, and $15,849 was paid in bonuses. Now, during COVID travel restrictions, 76% of subcontractors working on the $54 million failed ArriveCan app required for Canadians to re-enter the country did no work at all for the pay they received.
After 8 years of this Liberal NDP government, scandal continues to follow them. With the ArriveCan app, Liberals insisted there were no forged resumes. Fact, almost 40% of the resumes GC Strategy sent in were forged. Wow. Liberals insisted security was never compromised. Fact, almost 80% of all contracts did not follow security protocol. Liberals insisted procurement rules were followed. Fact, the system was rigged in favor of GC Strategies. So I have a question for this Liberal government. What kind of operation are you running over there?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, when our government released government policies during this global pandemic to help save Canadian lives, we expected the public service to implement these contracts following the procurement policies and rules set out by this government. Mr. Speaker, we are concerned with some of the initial findings. So is the CBSA president. That is why she has already implemented measures, including calling in the police when necessary, as well as conducting more internal audits. And there will be consequences for anyone who did not follow the procurement process.
Now, aside from the alleged high performers in the Privy Council office, other high bonus departments included the Public Health Agency of Canada at 92%, Health Canada at 94%, and Finance at 93%. Veterans Affairs had an 87.5% rate of executive bonuses. Now, Veterans Affairs received extreme criticism last year after several veterans came forward saying they were offered medical assistance in dying when calling caseworkers at Veterans Affairs with health concerns.
We know that the number of assisted suicides in Canada has risen to 10,000 this year. In your work, do you hear concern, and are you aware of these circumstances actually taking place within our veterans community? And how is it impacting your work?
Until this testimony today and the news story that came out in August, I think that medical assistance in dying was not on my radar as a significant issue for the veterans that we are serving. I think this has been a serious wake-up call. Suicide has been on our mind for the 10 years that we've been operating and for the 25 years almost that our program has been around. The possibility of suicide through medical assistance in dying for a mental health disorder, again, that we know to be treatable, we know that people can improve, is worrying. Absolutely.
What do you have to do when you work for the federal government in management to not receive a performance bonus? For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. These sort of paper-based research stories require time, and frequently they require help. If you would like to make a donation to offset our research and document filing fees, please consider making a donation at a special website, rebelinvestigates.com. And thank you in advance to everybody who donates to make this important accountability journalism possible.